Victor Lucas, in his downtime, has lots of Indiana Jones fantasies, which came into play when a little game from Mossmouth and Derek Yu was released last year. It was called Spelunky. Jose Sanchez could not stop playing this game. I have to confess, I didn't really get into it, but I thought if there ever is going to be a Spelunky moment for me, it is going to be when it comes to the Vita.
Right.
And so here it is. Victor Lucas, what did you think of Spelunky on the Vita?
I'm just thrilled that we pried a review of Spelunky away from Jose's Death Grip, because this is a terrific game. I love this game. It's a very accessible...
You just like any Indiana Jones type character.
I mean, that's half the charm, and that's half the points on the score here. No, but I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff, but I love 2D platformers, especially when they're as elegantly created as this. And then when you layer in the idea of a completely randomized dungeon to jump into every single time.
Roguelike.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a roguelike hybrid platformer with lots of really terrific little details, lots of cool little objects to collect.
There's also a girl hidden in every cave. Now, if you find the girl and you bring her outside of the cave, she'll give you a couple kisses. So I always am looking for her. It is kind of funny because once in a while when you're trying to pick up the girl and put her on your shoulder, it's a little misogynistic. You inadvertently punch her and knock her out and stars go around her head.
Bombs
I killed her a couple times. It's right into spikes. I threw her into a spider's nest once. I mean, these are the kind of crazy adventures in the Spelunky universe that you're going to have. Now, the thing that I really like about this port is the fact that it feels right at home on the Vita. It looks terrific on the screen. They don't really monkey around with the controls at all. It works great with the directional pad and the buttons. It all feels right. There is a little bit of touchscreen functionality in there. You can tap the screen every now and then to get through some of the loading screens and things like that. But overall, it's a pretty straightforward port. They didn't add anything at all to it.
There's a cooperative mode that they've added. But you know what? It's just a solid, fun, diverse, and very challenging game.
I really thought if there was a moment for me to have a Spelunky moment in my life, it was going to be this. And I have to say, I still don't completely get it. I just still feel like I'm on the outside here. I always feel like I'm leaving some treasure behind. I always feel like I'm not doing the game right for some reason.
Well, it's hard.
And it's hard, and I lose, and I go back to Dungeon 1-1 again. I got to start all over at the beginning.
As well, with the idea that it is always randomized, so you don't really feel progression as much as you would in something else like a Castlevania or a Metroid or something like that, because it's always a different experience every time you jump in.
There's lots of frustration with this experience, I have to say. And even though it is on the Vita and some of the loading and all the stuff you have to go through to get to the Spelunky experience on the consoles isn't there anymore, and you can just do your sort of go-to-sleep mode, and you can go right back in. You're right where you left off. I still am not in love with this game, and I don't know why, and my apologies to Derek Yu, and my apologies to all the Spelunky fans out there.
I am pretty in love with this game. I think this is a pretty fantastic $15, robust, and really polished platforming experience, and there's lots and lots of joy in this thing. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.